Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. My desk is a mess because I wanted to do some of the prep work for this quick layout ahead of time so that I can kind of keep it as a chattier video. I've been leaving the comment before, like if you want to see the longhand or try to do it real time, and it was like kind of split. Like people were like, yeah, let's have a chatty video. And others were still fine with it being quick time. So let's make this one chattier today. So let me just clear this off. This should have been cleared off before. I'm sorry. Okay, so I've been enjoying working in this Traveler notebook size album. This one is called a Life Crafted album from Citrus Twist. I got it in the sky blue color. I bought 3 of them recently in their sale of like secondhand ones or something, how they call it. And so I've already done 2 this week. And so I just kind of sandwiched the papers that I were using. So this one you saw, it was just a reel on Instagram. Sorry, lost my train of thought right there. And I made this one for like a Instagram hop with some friends for St. Patrick's Day. And then the other day was one that I used with the Tracy Reed Rooted collection to document like my plant mom stuff. So this one does have a YouTube video, and hopefully it is posted before I load this one up. So in order to have the middle utilized, I didn't want to sandwich these 2 together because I had punched the holes and they weren't lining up. So now I just did the prep work of choosing these 2 pattern papers. These were just sitting in my scrap stash. This one was a longer piece, and then I had this stripe one that kind of complemented. They're not from the same paper collection. This is just like a Hobby Lobby one. Anyways, so I have that prepped already. So the little strip that was left over from here is actually right here, and I think it'll be good to have it on this side to bookend it, which I'll just do as we're talking. And so what I'm scrapping about is a recent haircut. I don't know about you, but for me, haircuts have always just been a nightmare. I have super curly hair. No one has ever really cut my hair well, but since it's always curly, I can get away with a bad haircut because it just stays curly and you can sort of see a shape, maybe not. And I just live in a ponytail lately because it's mom life. But this haircut was done really well. Believe it or not, it was done at one of those like cosmetology schools. So yeah, thoroughly surprised. And I loved what it turned out. They even blew dry it straight, and I never do that because the arm strength to do it is hard. So those are the 2 pictures. So I just wanted to do kind of like a selfie I did standing in front of these gorgeous blooms. They had a pink one and like a red one. So I just stood in front of both of them outside in the parking lot and snapped a photo as my hair fell. I wasn't trying to primp myself. So it's good layers, and I just like this one because it was half covering my face. So I was like, let's just print those 2. So that's the story we are telling. I printed a 3x4 and then a little 2x3. Would it say? No. Yeah. 2x3. I've matted this one on the same pattern paper here. And I went ahead with the scrap of that one and made a tag because I feel like the journaling has to sit behind there because it's running out of space. With the end of this one, I have fussy cut out these little florals, which I think I'll just kind of stack on the bottom down here because I just wanted that paper to repeat a little bit. So I love that. And I cut off the leaves too. So I think this one was like here. I was playing around with. It's all my pre-work just to kind of have it go quicker. And then for this, I have cut out the letters already because I had the letters cut out. So these letters are these Thinlits. I had hauled these a while ago from Tim Holtz. I only recently did another layout with them, and so they're on my desk, and so I used them again, and it was scrap paper that was this like glittery paper. It was from this rainbow sheet. It's from Hobby Lobby as well. So up here was like pink and purple glitter, and that's how I got the letters from it. So I just did a strip. I've already adhered down great just so I can get a spacing, and I did it on vellum, and then I also just boarded it up with just another scrap paper of hot pink just because it was in there, using my X-Acto knife because the letters alone on this busy paper it was getting lost. As you can probably see what I was dealing with. So like I didn't adhere this. So, when they were on there, it just wasn't as popping is what I would say. So I just added some vellum. That way it would shadow out a little bit, and then just did the border too so that it had that as well. So that's how I kind of rectified not having the letters be so lost on the busy background. And so I thought about doing the journaling on this side too, but again, I would need a label sticker or something that I just didn't want to do it. So I was like, I'll just have the journaling hidden on the tag over here. So that's how I rectified that, because to me, only later in my scrapbooking career, because, okay, so let's talk a little, let's chit chat. I scrapbooked in high school, is where it started. And I did study abroad in college. I went to Spain for a semester, and that was the last scrapbook I did. I definitely found it the other day, my Spain book. And, your style changes after a while. Like that book, I must have, obviously you take double prints of everything, because this is back in the early thousands. I graduated in 99, so I probably went in 2000 or 2001 to Spain. Where you get double prints, when you send them off and you get it back in 2 weeks. That was my heyday. I am a 90s baby. And the double print of everything. So I must have always just taken the double print and fussy cut out everyone on there. It was a style. It was a beginner style. And I do like it. I mean, the book itself is great. I had a boyfriend at the time that we were emailing because, we didn't have cell phone. I didn't have a cell phone then. And so I have these printed off emails in that in that scrapbook. And I tell you what, I the boyfriend at the time, if you asked me what, I was going to marry him, my 19-year-old self, was just madly in love at the time. And it's just funny how that turned out and how it ended. I always laugh about how that relationship ended, and where you've got, how much I've grown since then. So then I take after that undergrad, a complete break from scrapbooking, and I only come back to it how long have I been on YouTube now? I want to say I'm on my 6th or 7th year here on my channel. And even now, in 7 years or so, my style has evolved as well. And not to say evolved in a good or a bad way. I'm just using the word evolve, as anything really would change or either get better, or things that you used to love that you just kind of don't anymore. And that naturally happens, and that's not a bad thing. So it's fun to look at my old projects is the message today. Especially if you can relate, leave a comment down below if you have any of your old scrapbooks, if you've been doing this hobby for a while. So it's fun to kind of see. And back then too, when I did buy phone cards home, they're the size, credit cards, and it's just so bulky. And when I'm in that scrapbook, what I love that I did, I was already very, I always say memorabilia at the time. There were so many business cards and maps and flyers and pamphlets to things that I did and saw. I kept everything. And there's even old, I don't even know what the currency is called, but I have old money. I wonder if it's worth the same nowadays. I don't know. The currency to Spain to here. And it's just good. And the thing is, though, what's funny is, well, not funny, that I'm still the same way. When we go on trips, Miguel knows, even if we're at the bar, I'm taking home a coaster or a napkin that I'm going to decoupage on something. Or what was the other thing? Or we keep anything for our hotel cards too. He always knows to keep, or a brochure to stuff, or menu, or the business cards to a place we had dinner at. He's just already trained. And these are the things that I love about memory keeping as my hobby, because you know how great it is to look back at my favorite album I did was one that we went to Chicago. We did Vegas before we were parents as well, and my Vegas album is so fun too. Just because I had a selfie stick, so we were able to take pictures in front of all the big, cute, huge hotels with no problem. You know, I must have had like a tripod too, and we were just very touristy, and we did that, and it was great. And this is why I memory keep. Like, I just love looking back. And even for him, he forgets some of the things that we do. And I think that's like my biggest like push always for memory keeping is I don't want to forget. And it's always good, I'd say too. Like, do you ever find yourself flipping through one of your albums, like when life is a little bit stressful or life's a little bit difficult? Because I feel like that's always when I flip through it. Like, just as a reminder or a pick-me-up to know that we're just, you know, maybe at a tough time right now, or we just had a fight right now, but it does not matter. It's just a moment and we will work through this, but I'm just going to be mad today. And I give myself permission to be mad for that day. So if you see what I'm doing, how I always make a pocket for my like hidden journaling. I didn't want to put the ATG because it was going to be too wide. So I just used my red line tape and then put tape where I don't want it to slide behind it anymore, because I just used some scraps to make it match perfectly. Goodness gracious. And my desk is covered in glue and it's probably going to ruin this cover. I should have taken the pages out. Okay. So let's make sure. I do want this kind of up on this corner. And then this one's going to be right down here, kind of. So, yeah. So I'll probably journal about all the terrible haircuts I've had. And lo and behold, I go to a cosmetology school on a whim, you know, because I'm just like, well, I have been going to one person for a while and she's great. You know, again, I guess for me, maybe it's just me because it's my curly hair problem. Sometimes too, for me, I just find I've spent high-end money and gotten $100, $150 haircuts. And I think those always make me more mad when I freaking leave and I don't find myself liking what happened. That I kind of always like to stay around, you know, $35 for a haircut I'll pay. Like I love my hair. I'm just not that big into the styling aspect because it's curly. And if you have curly hair, you sort of understand what I'm going through. Like I haven't, even to this day, I haven't mastered doing my hair. Like, I'm still like learning. And what has helped since going really curly hair, I have the Dyson air blower. I got it for my 40th birthday. That was like my little like high ticket item I wanted because I've always heard about it. People talk about it, especially curly hair people. And I was just like, when am I ever going to spend that much on a hair dryer? But it was like what my friends and family all chipped in for my birthday and got me. And so now I have it. And I went from blow drying my hair taking over an hour, trust me, with a diffuser, to it going to 10 minutes. Like, the Dyson air dryer is no joke. Like, it works. It's worth the money. Mind blown. But then, since I've had it, and this is just me talking, like I almost find myself lazy lately, where I just don't even want to do my hair. So my hair just lives in a ponytail and a high bun, and that's it. So I have the tools to do my hair, and that's the thing too. And then I've never found a good combination of like product that defines my curl, that leaves less frizz. Like, there's always one caveat to how my hair looks. And then let's be honest, by noon my hair is again just up in a bun because it just is. It just is. And I'm trying to decide, do I need anything else or is that cute enough? I'll do my, like I said, the journaling will be on this little card. I'll have the back and the front to tell my little story. It does tuck in perfectly. And so it might just be a simple little layout. That's why I was doing it. Like, I'm going to make a playlist of everything that's this Traveler's notebook size, because I do find it interesting to work in. It's like smaller than an 8x10. Well, let's say it's 4x4. So it's 8x, well, it's almost like an 8x8. So it's just a smaller scale, like 12x12. But for some reason, I just find it very interesting for me right now. Maybe the only thing I could think of adding would be some sequences, because I've gotten so many now like this blushing plum dandy collection, or something like really pinky. This one's called Carnation Bloom. Maybe both. And you would think too, if I had, let's see, some enamel dots. I only have red and pink. Sorry, I'm just kind of thumbing through this little drawer on my desk of goodies to see if there's anything I can add. Little hearts, gold. Okay, let's just add a few and we'll call this one good. So these are sequence mixes from, I just meant to drop them out. Spiegel Mom Scraps. I think I've hauled them on my channel before. I love hers. I used to be on her design team back in the day, before I became a mom. And now I just kind of don't like to apply for design teams because I feel like I'm inconsistent right now with commitments. And I don't want to be. I just don't want to let them down. So I'm just like, you know what, Ty, don't apply, because they'll probably need like 4 layouts or more from you a month. And that might be hard for you some months. And I just like using them kind of like enamel dots in my eyes, like just a few here. I always do like clusters of 3, sometimes 4, you know, whatever feels good is kind of how I go with it. And I just like the added texture. I always like the added bling, which is why I'm still a customer, because I still appreciate the product. And for some reason too, I just love, I don't even know where she sources her sequences, but like her mixes always have, like even this one right now has like the tiniest little mauve colored ones and like little medium normal size ones, and like these are just sequences I could never find like at box stores or anything. So I can appreciate the product, because I'm just like, you know what, those are different than what I could ever find. So I need those in my life. All right. And there. Okay, we'll leave that. See, we'll just add a little something and a little something. Cute, right? All right, I hope you've enjoyed this little chatty traveler's notebook layout with me. Please leave a comment down below about our scrapbooking question. And until next time, my subbies, I'll see you next time.